play Ermac more like Ninjakilla. In a similar vein as the last video I made of how to play like SonicFox, I'm gonna pick a few parts that seem particularly noticeable or impressive from Ninjakilla's gameplay. Of course there is a ton, but then highlight those and, maybe suggest that you implement them into your own gameplay. And I will make the same disclaimer that yes, there is a lot more that goes into a pro's gameplay than the combos and pressure that they use. Even if you can execute these things and you learn to do it, that doesn't mean you automatically will have Ninjakilla's amazing execution and decision-making skills, so just gotta put that out there. But as you may have noticed from the highlight clip I put out yesterday, the things that kind of stand out to me from Ninjakilla's gameplay are, first, of course, his perfectly, cleanly executed, long, extended combos, but also using those combos to go into float setups. Uses Janet to get a lot of damage from any hit you get with Ermac, and they always lead into pretty decent damage. While we saw Sonic go a little more for just this kind of simple style, end the combo with a good combo ender that lets you go for Oki, and it's decent damage and meterless, and that's good enough. But Ninjakilla, he likes to extend. And the combo he seems to prefer going for is something more like this, where you use Janet at the end for extra extension and then use a well-timed 1, 2, 3 in the air. Now doing that gets you a bunch of extra damage and a ton of corner carry, and it can be done off of practically any Ermac combo. So that includes your 1-2 hit confirms into a nice, pretty damaging combo. And you'll even see him using it to get extended combos from his throw, which I find pretty difficult, but I'll see if I can do it. There we go, so pretty good damage and good Oki as well. And what I really like about this combo, and this isn't something you'll see Ninjakilla doing, but it's something you can add on to any other combo style. So if this style of Ermac combo is still something that's too difficult for you and you can't execute consistently, or like doing these constant cancels and this sort of stuff, you can apply this combo routing or this combo theory onto a bunch of other routes that can be a lot easier. So for example, if I go for a combo like this instead of the 4-2 float cancel stuff like this, I can do a lot easier combo that's still meterless, but is a lot easier to execute and still gets you round about the same amount of damage. You can even add it onto this style of combo as well. So you add a decent amount of extra damage to your combos, they're still easy to execute, but you get that little bit of an extra Ninjakilla flair of extension. And something you might be noticing from all these combos I've been doing is that they don't end in the same way a lot of Ermac's combos do. And that is because Ninjakilla doesn't seem to use classic Ermac enders, like, a lot of players use this as an ender since it does a lot of damage, or of course this, depending on how the combo ends, because, using an ender is a pretty standard way of ending combos. But Ninjakilla prefers to go for a more setup or mix-up style approach of ending his combos, where instead of going for an ender, he goes for a forward 4 into the float, because you've already done a decent amount of damage in the combo, the ender isn't going to do that much more, so getting this float gives you a lot of advantage, and let me show you. So Ermac's set to do an armored wake up, but see what happens if he does that at the end of this combo. As you can see, the really low jumping 2 that you do into a standing 1 means that the opponent's armor gets broken because they hit so close to each other. So in this game, you could basically call that a safe jump. You get a free jump in where it's guaranteed that no matter what the opponent does, you're going to be able to go for that jump 2 into the 1-2 and then go for the same combo routes we've been doing and just loop it over and over again if they decide to go for armored wake-ups. This also works really well even if the opponent is blocking, because you're getting a really low jump too, so you're guaranteed to go into any buttons. You can even jail into an overhead here to make them guess. And also, because it's such an uncommittal kind of setup, even if the opponent delays their wake up, it doesn't really mean much to you because you're just doing a jump 2. So even if they delay their wake up and it doesn't hit, you can still do the 1-2, and the 2 will basically be a meaty hit on a delayed wake up opponent, so you're still getting the same pressure that you would be before. And there, you're simply going into the same 1-2 stagger pressure you were before, and just as the same applies with all Ermac, well, if they get hit by the 1-2 stagger, well, then you get to convert them into a whole combo, and like we mentioned, it's a free scenario that you can do off of any of his combos, so you can just loop and loop this. And the opponent practically has no safe way of properly avoiding this. They either have to block, or delay and then block the later pressure, or they armor and just get hit. And keep in mind, all of this is completely meterless except for the Janet Cage extension. So that's pretty scary that you can get this consistent good damage into a good Oki setup with mix and plus frames, like dang. And that leads into the third point, where I might hear you saying now, well, this pressure really relies on you getting a jump 2, and in this game, jumping attacks have a default counter option, which is an up block, and that is true, and it's a good point. You can get punished if the opponent is quick on that up block, but do pay attention that even if they do use that up block, you're minus 11 at this decent distance, so the opponent may mess up their punish, but let's still consider the fact that yes, this is maybe technically punished if they do up block you. Ninjakilla accounts for that and goes for some pretty unpredictable mix off of the float. So let's list all the options that you can go for when you are in a float stance. You can fall down with a jumping attack and be very plus. You can slowly cancel it and go for a throw if they try to up block you. With the amplified flash of an EX float, you can get a gapless overhead so the opponent can't up block it or armor through it. This can also be cancelled just into a throw. Or you could use the EX flash to deceive the opponent and actually go for an EX low projectile that stuns for a full combo. Now, of course, this is probably the option you'll use the least, but if you factor in, you know, that you're going to be using overheads most of the time, because that leads to a combo, and that's your de facto option, when you do go for this, the opponent is practically guaranteed to get hit, and if you have the meter and the opponent's life is low enough, you've basically just won yourself the round by doing this. And keep in mind, if you are trying to up-block this, and you do it at the wrong time, and he goes to the cancel, Janet has a pretty damaging throw if you get the throw punish. That's almost, you know, a small full combo just for them guessing wrong on the up block. So this offense is pretty potent, meaning that you can go for this armor breaking setup pretty free care, and as long as you occasionally mix up just cancelling it and going for a throw, the opponent is just gonna have to hold that mix and pressure. Then, when we start to integrate all three of these techniques, we get these long meterless combos that lead into this great armor-breaking Oki that if the opponent guesses wrong on, they'll either take an extra full combo, have their armor broken, or if they up-lock, then they'll take a big damaging throw or throw combo. But these are just the three main takeaways that I thought were most interesting about Ninjakilla's gameplay so far. If there's anything that you thought stood out more to you and that you'd like to point out, of course, let me know in the comments. I'm keen to know what you guys find interesting. But hopefully this guide helps. I thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.